Good morning, guys. We are on the way to Maine. Welcome to the first of my Maine vlogs, everybody. I will be posting multiple vlogs from this trip, so be sure and keep an eye out for those in the future. This one starts off in the airport, as you see, very exciting. We were early for our flight, so we were just exploring the airport. I like to do this because airports can be very interesting places. I know they kind of get a bad rap, but they're not all bad. I was very much looking forward to this trip. It was our first ever time going to Maine. I had heard so many things about it, so I was very excited. I do tend to get a little bit nervous when flying, but I try to ignore that and just enjoy the experience because it is part of the trip. And as we were flying out, we did get some beautiful views. Alright guys, one flight down and we're heading to the second one. While we were in the Philadelphia airport, I really did want to stop and look at this Rocky merch that they had available, but we were kind of running late for our next flight, so I did not actually take the time to do that. But this next flight is the one that actually got us to Maine. So again, the excitement was really building here. I was very much looking forward to getting up there. And this flight was very smooth and the views were even better. I love water, as you guys know. And we had some just absolutely gorgeous views of the water down below as we were flying in. That type of view is something that I love to see. It just, again, enhances the vacation experience for me. Oh, and I should mention we were flying into Portland, Maine, for anybody who was curious, and then we drove up to Winter Harbor, which is where our Airbnb was. As we got closer and closer to Maine, the weather was turning a little bit cloudy and rainy, but that was okay. It was not going to stop us from having a good time. We have officially arrived in Maine and we're about to go pick up our bags. This cabinet is full of duck decoys. I personally thought the Portland airport was so cute. I loved all the pictures of wildlife and they had these little taxidermy specimens. It really helped distract me when I was hauling the very heavy luggage off of the conveyor belt. As you can see, there's a beautiful picture behind me of Maine. Those were the types of things we were coming to see, the nature and wildlife and the landscape, so I liked getting a preview of those in the airport. So as I mentioned, we arrived in Portland, but we were not staying there, so we did have to drive a bit. But on the way up to Winter Harbor, we stopped in Augusta to eat some lunch. Really, it was more like an early dinner at Two Maine Guys, which we had heard amazing things about. This is just a tiny little restaurant. It's a hole in the wall pretty much, but the food was amazing. I had my first ever lobster roll here and it was delicious. Plus the service here was super good. All the people were so friendly and really everybody we met in Maine was so friendly. I really love nice people, as you can probably guess. So that was, again, just a wonderful part of this trip. Good morning, guys, and hello from Winter Harbor, Maine. So as I showed you guys yesterday, we spent all of yesterday traveling here from North Carolina and we finally made it about 8:30 last night. I didn't get much filming done on the drive here just because it was a 3-hour drive from the airport to this house and we got here after dark. We were all really tired, so please forgive me for the lack of clips from yesterday. I do plan to make up for that today though. We are about to go out adventuring. Right now I'm just filming this intro on our little wraparound porch. I'll put some clips in so you guys can see it. It is so cute. We're staying in this adorable old house that was built in 1889, so it's pretty antique. I'll put some more clips in of the house so you guys can see the furniture and the different plates and things that are around for decoration. And right now we're about to head out to the town of Winter Harbor and do some exploring. There's a local grocery store which I'm very excited to check out, and we're also going to go over to Schoodic Point, which is part of Acadia National Park, and do some hiking. We might also go out to eat, do some shopping, who knows, but whatever happens, you guys are going to come with me and we'll see what happens. Winter Harbor is a pretty small town, but it has a lot of good stuff in it. This grocery store, for example, was packed. It had a great selection. It had everything you would need if you were just going to stay here and you didn't want to go into town, a bigger town, to get anything else. As you can see, they do have Apple Jacks, which is the best cereal. Anybody who agrees with me, please comment down below. I always love to meet my fellow Apple Jacks fans. When we were at this store, I also got the chance to see some local Maine goodies. They had different jams, ice creams, all kinds of stuff, and I love to see local things when I'm traveling, and I like to pick them up as souvenirs, so I was glad to get the chance to do that here. And then after the grocery store, we headed straight to Acadia National Park. Alright, we have made it to Acadia National Park. We are in the Schoodic Point area. We're going to check out the visitor center and maybe get some souvenirs and then go on a quick little hike. We've been here for about 10 minutes and it is so beautiful. You guys are going to love it. It's a little bit cloudy, but the sun looks like it might come out, so we'll see. Either way, I think it's going to be a great day. This national park is really our main reason for going to Maine. We love to visit national parks, and by the way, when I say we, I mean me and my family. We love to visit national parks, and this one is one of the most popular ones for a very good reason, as you're going to see later on. So of course, as soon as we could get over here, we did. Our Airbnb was only about 10 minutes or maybe even less to this portion of Acadia, which is the Schoodic portion, not the portion that is on Mount Desert Island. There's two different portions, and they did have this interactive display where you could do Morse code messages, so of course I had to try my hand at that. I don't have any idea what I tapped out here, so I hope it's nothing bad. We are heading out on Sundew Trail for a short little hike. This hike on Sundew Trail was recommended to us by one of the rangers in the visitor center, who was very nice, by the way. It was quite similar to a lot of hikes I've done in North Carolina where I'm from. It wasn't too steep or rocky or anything like that. It was really just a great introduction to hiking in Maine because, again, we didn't know what to expect. There was so much moss in this forest though. I have never seen this much moss in my life, but again, totally different from where I'm from, and it was nice to see that type of difference in the forest. This hike, even though it's short, has 3 different viewpoints that you come out on, and they are all stunning, even on this cloudy, kind of rainy day. Definitely worth the hike. I would highly recommend it. We came out onto this rocky beach, and I was having so much fun here. I love rocks, as you guys know. I love the ocean. I mean, it was right up my alley. What can I say? And again, for this to be our first hike in Maine, I thought it was absolutely stunning. And the fact that it wasn't too difficult was nice because we were kind of tired from traveling the day before, and we weren't sure what to expect, so having something easy to start us off was very appreciated. And I loved just staying on the beach, watching the waves roll in, exploring the different rocks and formations because they were, in my opinion, very interesting. We don't have anything like this back home. We have sandy beaches, of course. We were able to just watch some boats go by and enjoy the scenery. And then after this, we headed over to the Pickled Wrinkle, which aside from being a really fun name, is a very good restaurant. I loved the way it's decorated inside with the lights and the mural of Maine on the wall. The first thing we got here was an order of fiddlehead ferns, which are a wild fern that is native to Maine. These ones were just flash fried and they had a little bit of a balsamic glaze on them. I had to try them. Again, love local foods, and this was something I had never ever gotten to try before. For anybody who wants to know, they tasted kind of like a mix between an asparagus and a green bean. They were pretty good. And then for my main, I had heard that the pizza at this restaurant was really good, so I got to try some for myself. This one was pretty good. I don't know if I would get it again, but I did enjoy it when I was there. And then after this, like I said, we were pretty tired still and it was starting to rain. So we decided just to head home for the rest of the day and enjoy the afternoon, relaxing. I got some reading done and then I took a nap on the couch, which is exactly the type of thing you want to do on vacation, am I right? So that was the end of our very first full day in Maine. Good morning, guys, and welcome to our first official sunny day in Maine. This is our second full day here, and we are about to go take advantage of the beautiful weather. We're going to head over to Acadia National Park, the Maine section of it, not the Schoodic section that we were at yesterday. We have never been there before, but I've heard some amazing things. I've seen some pictures. I think we're gonna like it. We're gonna do just some hiking and some sightseeing today, and then we're planning to go back later in the week and do some more intense things. So I hope you guys are ready for some more fun. It was a bit of a drive over to the main part of Acadia from where we were staying, but I did not mind because it was a beautiful drive. I mean, are you guys seeing this? The sky is so blue and stunning. I love the evergreens. We could see the water at different points, and it was just gorgeous. This was totally different from the day before when it was rainy and kind of foggy and cloudy, so I liked being able to see the two sides of Maine, so to speak. Once we got to Acadia proper, we went up to the Hulls Cove Visitor Center they have there. And we just did a little bit of exploring. We checked out the maps, talked to a couple of park rangers, looked at the gift shop, all the standard stuff that you want to do when you get to a national park. And then it was off to see some views like this one right here. So this is why we came to Maine. This is what we wanted to see, and we were not disappointed. And the weather was so perfect for viewing this. Just because it was so clear and sunny, the water looked so blue and it was so calm. It looked like it was a picture out of a postcard or a magazine or something. Just absolutely stunning. And again, I love water, so I was mesmerized by this water here. There was just something about the way this water looked. It was light blue and dark blue at the same time, and it glimmered so much. And the way it moved, maybe I'm talking crazy, but I just absolutely loved it. I could have sat on the rocks and watched the water all day long, especially seeing the whitecaps roll in at some points, and especially against the rocks and the pink granite in Maine. It's just picture perfect. Hey guys, back for another update. It may be kind of loud because we are currently at the Bass Harbor Head Lighthouse, which is right there. And we are enjoying the scenery. I hope you guys will too. It is absolutely beautiful out here, so I'm going to try and get a lot of shots. The hikes here at the Bass Harbor Head Light, again, were pretty easy. We didn't have any problems with them, and they're totally worth it for these views. Again, looks like a postcard. They use this view of the lighthouse all the time for postcards, actually. And you can see so far on this day because it was so clear. I got so much footage of the water, y'all may get tired of seeing it, but I certainly did not. Looking at it now, I love it. Now we're going to do the other side of this hike, which is the Tower View Trail. This side of the hike allows you to get very close to the lighthouse so you can take pictures and you can see a little bit of a different vantage point. We got to see a boat going by, which again, I love water, I love boats, so I really enjoyed being able to see this very quintessential Maine. Plus the waves going over the rocks, just another thing to look at and admire. Once we finished up at Bass Harbor, it was getting to be later in the afternoon, so we decided to head over to Abel's Lobster, which is on Mount Desert, for some lunch. The food here was amazing. I would highly recommend this place if you have not been or you have not heard of it. I got to try this blueberry soda as my drink, and it was so delicious. It was sweet and tart, and it gets bonus points for the color. Blueberries are also very popular in Maine, so this was another local treat that I wanted to make sure I got to try while we were here. And for my actual lunch, I got the lobster mac and cheese, which was very good. I loved the cheese sauce on the macaroni and cheese, and the lobster was tender and fresh. Just, again, you can't go wrong. Plus, I was pretty hungry after hiking all day long. So this really hit the spot and gave me the chance to try another Maine cuisine. For dessert, we decided to go for the homemade blueberry pie with homemade whipped cream. All right, guys, we just had lunch at Abel's Lobster, and we are just walking around exploring because this is also a shipyard. Some cool things to see, and now we're about to head back into Acadia and do some more hiking and sightseeing. We are now walking on the Ship Harbor Trail. This is supposed to be a short, quick little hike with some really good views at the end, and Amber is here. The Ship Harbor Trail was one we specifically wanted to try because we'd heard it was pretty flat and easy, and as you can see behind us here, it is. It's kind of a gravel path, not hard to walk on at all. There are some steps and a couple of steep spots, but again, totally worth it. Look at this view. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that phrase. I hope you guys don't get too tired of it. The glimmer on the water here was unreal. It was just stunning. I love to see that. This beach is all rocks, and I absolutely love the way it sounds when you walk on it. So that was the first viewpoint, I guess you'd call it, or stopping point on this trail. So we continued on down to the middle of the trail, and the view just gets better the further along this trail you go. We have reached the end of the trail, and this is an amazing hike. It's pretty short and pretty easy, and the views, I'll let you guys see for yourself. Here, as you can see, the view really opens up from the actual harbor to the open ocean and the other islands and the coastline that's out there. I had a lot of fun exploring these rocks here. I love rocks, as I said before, and getting to walk over them like this, which is something I cannot do at home because we don't really have these big rocky outcrops, at least not really by the coast. It was a huge treat for me, and again, the perfect weather, the delicious lunch, everything conspired to make it a wonderful day, and Amber was here to be cute, so I really appreciated that, because adventures are always more fun when you're with someone, right? On to our last hike of the day. We are on what's called the Wonderland Trail, heading out to see if we can find some tide pools. The world's smallest trail map. Look how tiny it is. This Wonderland Trail is another one that's pretty flat and easy, so if that's the kind of hike you're looking for, I hope this video will be helpful to you. We're going to look around and see if we can find some sea urchins. Apparently the tide pools here sometimes have those in there. We did not find any sea urchins, but we found some other little lively animals and creatures in the tide pools, so that was still really fun. And the views here, again, really gorgeous. When we were hiking out, we did pass some fiddlehead ferns in the wild, which is kind of fun. You guys can see them here. And then after this, we headed home and I made some chicken spaghetti. We were planning on just having a relaxing evening at our Airbnb until there's a porcupine in the front yard! Yes, there was a porcupine and I was absolutely amazed. I had not expected to see one on this trip. We don't have porcupines in North Carolina, which is why this was so exciting for me. Is it gonna climb this tree? Oh my gosh, they can climb trees! Nowhere is safe! And yes, I had very little knowledge of porcupines, although after seeing this, my knowledge has expanded greatly. So that was a very fun way to end our second full day in Maine. Of course, we were inside on our covered porch getting to watch this wobbly little guy go by, so that was much more fun than if we had encountered him in the wild. But either way, I really enjoyed getting to do this, and it was just another memory that we got to have on this trip, which had already been so much fun, even though it had barely gotten started. So as this porcupine goes on to more adventures, I am going to do the same, so I'll say goodbye to you guys here. Thank you guys so much for watching this vlog. I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for more Maine adventures. I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys!